Hello, everyone, and welcome to Boxing Time TV. On March 4th, as I believe, Tony Bellew and David Haye are going to be fighting each other in an all UK grudge match at the O2 Arena. And I gotta tell you, I made this fight last night, was uploading it to YouTube, and then I deleted it off my system, and for no reason other than I just wasn't thinking. And I'm going to say something. It's a bummer that I did, because not only was it an exceptional fight, it was amazing. And it was amazing beyond belief. But on top of that, it showed why Sierra Championship Boxing, the game that I use to run this simulator, to run all these simulations, is so great. So it just had intrigue. It had everything that you want in a fight. So I'm just going to get right to it here. And I'm hoping that we have the same kind of fireworks again. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that we will. I'm not going to tell you who won until this fight is over. So I'm considering this a rematch, but I will just say this. If it is as good or even better than that fight, you guys are in for a treat. So please enjoy David Haye versus Tony Bellew. Haye is 36, Bellew is 34. They are the same height. David Haye weighs 224. Tony Bellew coming up from cruiserweight. I only made him about 210. He might scale 215. But I figured that was a good thing, a good weight. David Haye has a 4-inch reach advantage. They have the same amount of fights, same amount of losses. Let's get right to it now on Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs, and you can follow me on Instagram at BoxingTimeWithEvan. And I also wanted to say, I talked about this and I forgot. Tony Bellew is a mixed race. I believe one parent is from Mozambique or something. Anyway, he's a mixed race fighter, and in making these fighters, if I have Latinos fighting, I generally make them white or that fighter, and then African Americans, black gentlemen or women, I make them black. This game doesn't allow me to sort of be as politically correct as I probably should be, but there was no, I was not trying to be offensive. I just went with what I felt would be more distinguishing and would probably look, and what I felt Tony Bellew more represents, what he looks like. It's just a visual thing for me. And I apologize even if my explanation has been offensive. I'm just doing my best here. Let's get right to the fight. These two guys are laying hard leather on each other, and right now Tony Bellew, I'm not gonna lie, is doing better than he did in that first fight. Both these guys are trading punches and they're landing punches. However, David Haye, within the first 25 seconds of their first encounter that I deleted last night, and I'm kicking myself for it, he dropped Tony Bellew with a right hand that for all intents and purposes looked like it had ended the fight. The fight would ultimately go 11 rounds, and the back and forth action was pretty darn good. Right now, these guys are just sort of trading shots, and Bellew, I'm thinking maybe he's remembering what happened last night. He's fighting with a bit more confidence. He just landed a beautiful right hand. Now he's landing a left hand. He's setting traps for David Haye. That would serve him well in that first fight. And David Haye has landed some punches of his own. Overall, I think that so far, going into the final minute of the first round, things have been even. I'm drinking some water as I do this. It's a overcast Saturday here in sunny Southern California. And settle in, and hope you enjoy a really good, entertaining fight. Oh man, Haye right there landing 2 lefts on the chin of Tony Bellew, and Tony Bellew just cracking, just cracking back. And this is just so far a really even contest, and I am saying that I'm pretty excited about what I've seen so far, based on what I saw in the first fight. David Haye is on the left side of the screen. Tony Bellew's on the right side of the screen. You are watching Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs. You can follow me, like I said, on Instagram at Boxing Time TV. One judge has it even. Another judge gives it to Tony Bellew. Another judge gives it to Tony Bellew. So Tony Bellew unlike in the first fight, is ahead on points after the first round. Let's see if David Haye can sort of crank things up a notch. David, Tony Bellew really doing good work with that left jab, setting it up well and being very, very pesky and landing a hard right hand. Oh man, David Haye though lands a nice body shot going into this, and I don't know, maybe Haye is being he's fighting a bit differently, maybe a bit more conservative with his punches. These two guys right now are both landing a lot of hard leather, a lot of tough leather, and David Haye would also go on to drop Tony Bellew with a body shot in the second round. So far, neither fighter has gone down, but Haye lands right after I say that a wonderful left to the body. Oh, and Tony Bellew jabbing again. In the first fight, that was very pesky for Tony Bellew. That was what helped him out and kept him in the fight a lot of the times, even when he was just, really getting his head handed to him. He landed a left hand jab that just, and a right hand behind it. He would time David Haye well, so it kept David Haye honest. Haye landing a nice uppercut right there, and just some combination punches that Tony Bellew does not want to get hit with. These two fighters trading lots of leather. It's almost like they're through with the nervous energy. They're through with the nerves, and they both know each other, and they don't want a long 11-round contest like that last fight was. They want to get this thing over with, because that contest took a lot out of both fighters. I mean, it was a incredible fight. It was everything that I love about boxing, everything that I love about this boxing game. And, right there, Bellew lands with a nice right hand, but David Haye makes him pay for that by landing a right hand of his own. As we go into the final minute of this, the second round, man, Tony Bellew just establishing himself and landing with confidence on David Haye. And that's the thing, is David Haye has knocked down. Bellew wobbles him with a left hand. He's got to watch it though, because David Haye in their first contest, which I deleted. Oh, I'm so mad at myself for deleting that. You guys have no idea. I downloaded two data recovery software programs, and it was like you have to pay in order to use it, and I would have paid, but I wasn't sure if I had the file after doing some of the recovery, and I just wasn't going to take the chance. Such a bummer. So bummed, but at the same time, one of those things that it's just sort of, it's the way that the cookie crumbles. It's just the way that things are. Oh man, Tony Bellew doing really well again in that second round. Two of the judges give it to him. One judge makes it even. Let's see what happens going into this third round, where now David Haye is behind on points. And man, these two guys, wow, Bellew comes out cracking that right hand. He's backing David Haye up into the ropes. David Haye though lands a right hand. Man, and now Bellew is just going for it. Bellew thinks he has David Haye where he wants him, and Haye lands a right hand, and he's just, it's just incredible what these fighters are doing. It's just incredible what they are showing in the ring. I'm just so impressed, because this is boxing at the highest level. You are watching David Haye on the left side of the screen, Tony Bellew on the right side of the screen. My name is Evan Jacobs. You can follow me on Instagram at BoxingTime with Evan, and I'm just thankful that that you're all watching. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this contest, and I'm just looking forward to giving you more interesting, more enjoyable content. If there's fights that you want to see, please let me know. Tell me in the comments, or email me, or however you get in touch with me. Let me know the fights that you want to see. And wow, right there, David Haye just rattling off combinations. And he looks like he wants Tony Bellew to expend a bit more energy, and and I am, I'm not, I can't say that I'm surprised. David Haye being very crisp and precise, and I think maybe he's willing to lose some rounds in order to have more in the tank, because Tony Bellew was able to work his way back into the first fight, which I can't believe that I deleted. And, I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep bringing it up. I'm hoping in some way that I can get that fight back, because, that was just, you don't see too many fights like that. It was incredible. Oh man, Tony Bellew lands on David Haye, and what I'm amazed about is Tony Bellew's chin in this fight. He's not wobbling, he's not buckling, he's not going down. And David, but I just say that, then he goes down. No way! David Haye finds the right moment, drops Tony Bellew hard, and Bellew gets up. Bellew is behind on points. Wow, Bellew gets up and lands a right hand. Will this fight be better than the first fight? I'm really excited here. I'm not even just saying this. This is what boxing is about. This is what I love about the sport, the theater of the unexpected, and I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Let's see what the judges say. David Haye putting his punches together very, very well. In a round that I think that he may have been losing, David Haye pulls it out and goes 10-8, 10-8. So now, if I'm correct, David Haye is up on the scorecards by 2 points. And now Tony Bellew finds himself behind going into the fourth round. But let's see, because Tony Bellew, going at this point in the first fight, Tony Bellew had been dropped. No way! David Haye has found the answer with that left hook. He drops Tony Bellew again. And the question is that has David Haye solved Tony Bellew? Is this an Alexis Arguello situation where David Haye sort of let Tony Bellew do some things? David Haye followed his patterns, and now David Haye is landing in such a way that he is going to dominate and beat Tony Bellew easy. We will see. Are we settling into a scrappy fight like the first fight, which was just blood, guts, glory, and just the value of sticking to a game plan for both fighters? That's when you see the best fights. When both fighters stick to their game plans and are successful. That is when you see the best fights, I believe. Right now, David Haye trying to get Tony Bellew to the ropes. He had a lot of success against the ropes. Oh man, he's having a lot of success with that right hand. And Tony Bellew, in the first fight, I thought that Tony Bellew maybe had been nervous beforehand about being dropped, and then he got dropped, and then that sort of let him be free. That sort of, now that he knew that he was dropped and could get up from the punches of David Haye, made him take the punches, better after being dropped. But you never know. And now Tony Bellew, though, is landing that pesky left hand in between the punches of David Haye. And the thing is, Tony Bellew was able to work his way back into the fight by doing that, because he lulled David Haye into that left hand, then scared him by dropping the hammer with the right hand. But and now David Haye has Tony Bellew in some trouble. But Tony Bellew roars back. And what is David Haye thinking? He hits this guy with the kitchen sink, and Tony Bellew still hits him. And this might just be a case where in Tony Bellew's mind, he's not going down against David Haye unless he's really going down. And we are heading into the final 30 seconds. Oh man, David Haye landing hard on Tony Bellew. And Tony Bellew is just coming back. I'm telling you guys, I'm not just saying this. We might be seeing a sequel, and you won't ever see the original, I don't think. We might be seeing a sequel that outwits and outdoes and outfoxes the original. This is a sequel, and wow. Oh man, here's Tony Bellew coming back in, and David Haye, he was off for a while. He had not been as active. And that could be a problem. David Haye's tired and Tony Bellew's tired and has a cut on his nose. He had a swollen eye in the first fight. Man, oh man. Now, so David Haye took that round 10-8, 10-9, and 10-8. Let's see what the judges or I'm sorry, let's see what happens now as we go into the 5th round of this highly entertaining contest. Oh man, David Haye landing a picture-perfect left hook. Haye is just, I'm telling you, he's so precise. He hits so hard. The question is that can Tony Bellew summon it within himself to hang around the way he did in that first fight and give David Haye problems, or does he not want to go through that again? So great was their first fight, but it really took every facet of the fight from round 1 to round 11. Now we are here in the 5th round, and these guys are just doing incredible. And Haye is trying to be more economical, but the thing is, he doesn't want to be too economical because Tony Bellew has that pesky left jab and his right hand, and anything can happen. Oh, Tony Bellew's hurt again. David Haye is just, he's trying to make statements here. He's trying to make statements. He wants to get Tony Bellew out of there. And Bellew's hanging in there. Bellew's being pesky. Bellew's being, just very, he's showing a lot of ring generalship, a lot of patience. He knows that he has a game plan. This is a tough fight for both fighters. On paper it might seem like David Haye, even though the computer had Tony Bellew, a favorite, it might seem that David Haye, with all that power, should just steamroll the smaller guy. But let's not also forget, David Haye was a smaller guy. He came up from cruiserweight, so there's a lot to be said for that. That maybe these are just two really big cruiserweights fighting instead of heavyweights by today's heavyweight standards. Since most heavyweights, a lot of the heavyweights are so big. All right. Guys doing a lot of posing now. They've thrown a lot of punches. I don't begrudge them maybe even taking the final minute of this, the 5th round off. But Tony Bellew is looking to make something happen. He's looking to land, and so is David Haye. David Haye throwing out that left hand, trying to make something happen. When it goes in for the uppercut, Tony Bellew's having none of it, and Tony Bellew is going to the body, and that's something else that Tony Bellew did that was really underrated. Oh, Tony Bellew's hurt. He's hurt. David Haye hurt Tony Bellew, but David Haye does not follow up in time. It looks like Tony Bellew for the moment is going to survive. But Tony Bellew went to Haye's body. David Haye pushing Tony Bellew into the ropes, and we now are on the final 20 seconds. David Haye would love to end it here. Would love to just put an exclamation point on this, but Tony Bellew, as he was in the first fight, is just being pesky, and we're going to see what the judges say after 5 rounds of very good combat, very good warfare between the two fighters. Okay, so the cut on Tony Bellew's nose did not get worse. David Haye again piling up points. 10-9 on one judge's scorecard, 10-8 on the other judge's scorecard. We now head into the 6th round. We're almost at the halfway point of this fight, and these two guys. Oh, Tony Bellew gets wobbled by a shot to the body. Haye jabbing. He's throwing more shots here. He's being more economical, and it is just a very, very, very incredible contest between these two warriors, and I give them a lot of credit. I give them a lot of it's cool. I think it's really, really cool that these two fighters can both put it on the line the way that they are here. And Tony Bellew trying to keep him off, throwing out the right hand, going for an uppercut. Oh, he tags Haye there, but Haye's workmanlike. Haye's throwing punches. Haye's trying to land, and Haye lands with his shots. And the thing about Haye's punches, Haye is the harder puncher. Haye's also able to just control the ring, control the pace, control the tempo. This is such a hotly contested. These guys have. Oh, wow. Oh, Tony Bellew gets dropped again with a right hand and a body shot. Will he get up? When he went down for the 3rd time in their first fight, he got dropped for a 9 count. He gets up and gets hit right here with a left hook. When Tony Bellew got dropped for in their first fight. He got dropped for a 9 count. He got up, and I mean, I thought for all the lights in me, he was done. And he hung in there. And like I said, I'm not going to say what happened. I'm not going to say what happened. As David Haye has to like the way this is looking. He's scored the same amount of knockdowns as he did in the first fight. He's done it. He's done it earlier. And Tony Bellew is being pesky and just hanging on there as we're in now the final 50 seconds of this, the 6th round of a fight between David Haye on the left side of the screen and Tony Bellew on the right side. Haye going to the body. Haye wants to take away those legs. Haye wants to take away any resolve, and he wants to just stop Tony Bellew. But the thing is, Bellew's shown himself to be a tough guy, a warrior of the highest order, a true gritty champion, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to see what happens. Oh, Bellew landing with that pesky left hand. We're now the final 10 seconds. Oh, and Haye lands a jolting left hook. Haye is just, he's throwing punches with super duper bad intentions. Let's see what the judges say. Oh, Bellew has a bloody nose. When Bellew had a swollen eye against David Haye, I mean, he fought through it, but that swollen eye did not come until later. A bloody nose. This fight could very well be stopped. All judges giving it to David Haye by 10-8, 10-8, 10-8. Let's see what happens in this round. Tony Bellew not being blown out, but he is behind by 18 points, and that is a huge deficit. And we're only halfway through this fight, and David Haye really did not start to show being tired until the later rounds, like the championship-esque rounds. So we will see. We will see if David Haye can put the exclamation point that it seems like he's going to put on this card, or if Tony Bellew is going to be cagey, be the fighter that he was in the first fight. He's doing really good here. Let's not take anything away from him. He's crafty as heck, and I'm not gonna, I like both these fighters a lot. I'm really happy that they're fighting. And Bellew timing David Haye, getting him to walk in, but Haye's been smart. He's fighting. He's backing up just a little bit, and he's staying out of range of that right hand. That right hand caused him problems. Bellew was able to wobble him. He was able to sting him. He was able to make David Haye think twice. And it seems like David Haye trained for the style that Tony Bellew is employing. Although right there, boom, Tony Bellew lands a right hand on David Haye. But Haye going to the body, being smart, fighting economically, and we're about halfway through the seventh round, and Tony Bellew, like we said, has a bloody nose. He's bleeding, and one wonders what it's going to take for the referees or possibly even Bellew's own corner to stop this fight. They don't want to see such a great warrior get hurt. Oh, and David Haye wobbling him right now. Oh, Tony Bellew's just so wobbled. He's in so much trouble. And David Haye really does not want to get tired, but at the same time, he has a fighter in front of him who's taking so much pain and so much punishment. And David Haye's having such great success. Look at that, those uppercuts as we go into the final minute of the 7th round. Oh, and Tony Bellew goes down again. And you know what? It's not looking good for him. It's not looking good. Tony Bellew just got bounced to the canvas again, and it looks like he's not going to get up. And what a great effort from him. But David Haye showing just such great skill, such tenacity, such ring smarts, learning from that first fight. I'm going to go over the particulars of this fight, and then I'll tell you what happened in the first fight. The winner is David Haye by a knockout. The fight lasted 7 rounds. Haye was not knocked down. Bellew was knocked down 4 times and has a bloody nose. As you know, David Haye totally up on the scorecards. He's up by 6 points on one. He's up by 5 points on another. He's up by 7 on another. In their first contest, Bellew got dropped in the first. Bellew got dropped in the second. It was David Haye all the way. Bellew, though, wobbled him really hard, I want to say, in the 3rd or the 5th round. They would then continue to be scrappy. Bellew hanging in there, being pesky with that left jab, landing that right hand, and he would get dropped again in the 8th round, be down for a 9 count, get up and still be pesky, still be hanging in there. starting to land that right hand more, and then suddenly going into the 11th round, it was all David Haye though. David Haye, you know, Tony Bellew had some moments, but David Haye, oh my gosh, just totally up on points, totally ahead of points, like ahead by like 18 points on like one judge's scorecard. Oh man, Tony Bellew somehow fought through that, landed the left hand with a left uppercut and a body shot, and dropped David Haye for a hard 10 count. And Tony Bellew ended up winning that first contest in one of the greatest fights. And darn it, I erased it. But if you stick around with Boxing Time TV, follow me on Instagram. My name is at Boxing Time with Evan. That's my handle on there. My real name is Evan Jacobs. You will see more great fights like that. I guarantee you this boxing game does not disappoint. Sierra Championship Boxing from 1984. It's terrific. Thank you so much for watching. If there's fights you want to see me make, let me know. This has been a very good fight, and thank you so much for tuning in to Boxing Time TV.